Now, the United States has cut aid to Uganda and cancelled a military exercise in response to a law that imposes harsh penalties on homosexuality. Uganda's new law, which imposes jail terms for aggravated homosexuality, was widely condemned by Western countries. As KTN's Joy Doreen Bureau reports, some Kenyans are rather puzzled by America's move.
After threats by Western countries that Ugandan President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was in February provoked to sign the anti-gay bill into law. The United States, said to be one of Uganda's biggest donors, is the latest to slap Uganda with sanctions that include aid cuts and visa restrictions on officials championing the anti-gay law. The US has also cancelled a regional military exercise. A shared online White House statement read, "The government of Uganda's enactment of the Anti-Homosexuality Act runs counter to universal human rights and complicates our bilateral relationship. The United States will take steps consistent with current authorities to prevent entry into the United States by Ugandans who are found responsible for significant public corruption. We are also discontinuing or redirecting funds for certain additional programs involving the Ugandan Police Force, Ministry of Health, and National Public Health Institute, and cancelling plans to hold a U.S. military-sponsored aviation service in Uganda." The statement went on. Some Ugandans have responded to the sanctions.
And I've always said this, a choice between the future of the people of Uganda, the culture of Uganda, and my traveling to another states. I prefer the future of our children, and that has been my stand.
I know very well that the aid they are cutting was a contribution of the slaves that were taken from Africa, including Uganda, to their country.
We have other reasons with the United States. For example, the United States of America for many years now has been reminding Uganda that its expenditure on the military vis-a-vis political administration is so excessive that they are likely to cut off aid.
Sweden was one of the first donor countries to divert $10 million to aid agencies in Uganda, as opposed to directly donating it to the national government. The World Bank, too, has held back $90 million US. Since Museveni signed the bill into law, a section of Kenyan MPs and NGOs have expressed support for the anti-gay law. The pressure from the West on African countries to be receptive to gay unions has angered a section of those on the continent. Ordinary Kenyans, too, have had their say.
Be it dictatorial for the US to want to control what happens in any other country. It may not be right what Uganda is doing, but it is their own country and they can do whatever they feel like doing for their own people.
Homosexuality is also in prisons. It has been there, although it is suppressed by, of course, certain institutions. So, if America is putting sanctions in Uganda on homosexuality, Uganda must consider its position in the world view. It is a member of the community, and the West controls the world.
Homosexuality has remained a controversial subject in African countries, and no regime has dared to publicly support gay unions or gay rights except South Africa.